My friends, I dare say that those of you who are watching this recording will feel somewhat uncomfortable with all the memorabilia, with all the gadgetry and symbolism behind me, the candles, the tail cross below the candles, the angel with the real presence, the Blessed Sacrament. And you're probably thinking, oh my God, he's Catholic, so what? Catholic memorabilia is a part of my journey, like iconography is part of the Greek and Russian and American Orthodox Church. As in the Christian tradition, we have the cross, the crucifix with Christ on. And of course, in the non-Christian churches, you have in Buddhism the beautiful symbols of the various Buddhas. In Islam, in Hindu and Sikh, you have the symbols of the Om. For me, Catholic memorabilia, the statues, yes, I do get offended when I read stories in the paper about the Weeping Madonna and thousands of people in their vulnerability and naivety go running. Wow. And then they discover it's a fake. But there are true stories like Lourdes, Fatima, Garabandal, and Guadeloupe, where our Blessed Lady did appear, the Mother of God. Why shouldn't she? She's God's mother, and she's our mother. But many Christians who are not of the Catholic persuasion are deeply offended, and they see what we do as worshipping saints, that we worship the Mother of God. I've never heard such blasphemy in all my life. I don't worship the Mother of God. I pray to the Mother of God, because having lost my natural mother, my blood mother, a few months ago, I see Mary as my spiritual mama. And Jesus did say at the foot of the cross, if we are true Christians and take the word of God seriously, he said, John, behold your mother. And that was a theological statement. It was a symbol of God's love, Christ's love for you and me, saying, here is your mama. But let us go back to the statues. Yes, I agree with you. A lot of them are in bad taste, and they don't do a thing for me. I am more into iconography. There are many icons in this little house, this little monastery. And they're so beautiful because they're each individually made and not replicated. But what do they signify? Well, let's look at it sensibly. The iconography, the statues, and the various other sacred images that we have are really like picture postcards. You remember when you were growing up, you would take pictures, and now they take videos, and they take their camcorder, and they take moving stills of family get-togethers and gatherings. And as you grow up, the young children will show their grandchildren when they've married. It's like that for me. When I look at the pictures of the beautiful Jesus, little Saint Therese of Lisieux, whose statue is behind me, pictures of Sri Chimoy, pictures of Francis of Assisi, Archbishop Romero, they're no different to watching a live video of one's family, or pictures taken and you're opening the photograph album, the family album. For me, they keep me in a place of reverence, and they also train the mind not to go off on a tangent and follow its whims and fancies and start engaging in erotica, because the temptations are there. My ministry today is now online, because since taking the vow of enclosure 3 years ago, through choice, I'm not locked in, I've locked you out, because I want to safeguard what I've been given. And a lot of people condemn a lot of monastics, particularly the nuns, who hide behind grills. They don't hide behind grills. They voluntarily choose to live their life behind a grill. And when I was talking to my spiritual director a few years ago, about 7 or 8 years ago, I said, why the grills? You'd have thought you'd have come into the 21st century. She said, a lot of people think that we've become nuns because we've been let down in marriage or dumped by a boyfriend. And we're living a life of misery where we're unfulfilled. She said, let me remind you, dear Brother Sean, the grill is here not to lock us away from you, but to lock you away from us. We have found the pearl of great price, and we are not willing to be distracted by the dramas of the world. And I thought, wow. So my enclosure, I don't have gates, I don't have barbed wire fences. You can come and see me. Of course you can. I see people here on retreat, people call for prayer, they call for a hug and a chat. But, and there's a but, I voluntarily choose to live this life, honoring my heart with my beloved, the Barefoot Galilean. So the memorabilia I have around me in our little oratory downstairs and here behind me is my comfort zone, because I feel safe and protected and loved, knowing that Jesus is real. Yes, I have statues and pictures. They're not the same, but they're reminders. They're reminders to keep my mind disciplined and my heart open to God's love. I hope this will help. And I hope and pray that if you're a non-Catholic Christian, that you will cease to be afraid or enter judgment on us. And that you will try and see it as a trip down memory lane for us. Because that's what it is for me. It's a loving trip down memory lane. But the real thing is far better than the picture postcards. Because when I sit here alone in front of the Blessed Sacrament, that's the real presence of Jesus in the shape of that small piece of bread. I know that nothing can ever replace that for me. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And I know that I'm at one in my heart. And I know that my God is with me. And that's all that matters. But as a monastic, one in service, I haven't locked myself away from the world. I walk alongside you in prayer, and the needs of my brothers and sisters in the world, how they're struggling in this recession. When someone contacts me whose son or daughter has lost a newborn babe, or someone in the family is critically ill, I voluntarily agree to walk with them as a prayer partner. And that really is the role of a monastic in the modern world, in a monastery without walls, is to be the feet, the hands and the beating heart of a loving God in a tangible way, but have the disciplines to protect one. So Catholic memorabilia isn't the end and be all, it's a means to an end. The Blessed Sacrament is a means to an end, so that I never lose sight of who loves me, God. And yes, we all profess that we love God, but having these gentle reminders is so important for me. Like for the florist with the flowers, you can't do a display of flowers unless you have the flowers. You can't service a car unless you've got the equipment. You can't bake bread unless you've got the materials. And for me, the memorabilia helps. Thank you for watching. Bless you.